Think there's a problem with misinformation out there?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Some people believe in things that are just not true.
Absolutely. 100%.
And where do you think Obama was born?
Kenya.
Barack Obama had a big part of 9/11.
Which part?
Not being around, always on vacation, never in the office.
I never got the impression that Obama loved America. He was from this place and that place, and do we really know where he was from?
Well, he was born in Hawaii, in the United States.
Right, he was born in Hawaii, but Trump, he was an open book. I know I sound stupid to the Democrats right now, but no.
Here in America, we only have Americans. We don't need to be a country dominated by foreign illegal immigrants.
Where are you from, man?
Brazil.
He acts like a Muslim. He talks like a Muslim. He also does the Muslim principles as far as jewelry is concerned.
Jewelry?
Yeah, jewelry. Certain months of the year, not wearing his wedding ring.
That's a deep cut. You want me to connect your necklace to your Christianity?
Why would you do that?
Well, you just taught me it. I didn't even know people were connecting jewelry to religion.
Muslims don't wear...
Is that a Jew watch?
Miss Obama so much. We had it so good. Was Obama the perfect president? No, not by any means. Each president has had their fault. But Jesus Christ. I grew up with Obama in office, okay? Obama was in office from 2008 to 2016. That's my entire, teen life, okay? Y'all ever seen The Crown? You know that moment on one of the first few episodes of season 1 in The Crown after the king dies? And, Winston Churchill is giving his, basically his speech over the radio. There's a part where he talks about growing up in the August summers of Queen Victoria, and I'm just like, you know what? That's how I feel about Obama right now. It was a beautiful time. I was still able to go back and forth from Mexico. Getting a passport was $25. Gas was $2.50, maybe $3 sometimes. I'll admit, gas was expensive, I'm not gonna lie, but Lord, everything else wasn't. At that time, ramen was less than 25 cents. I know I said I wanted to grow up, but I'm tired of this, Grandpa, and I know it's too damn bad, but
At this point, I'm getting emotional about Barack Obama. We had it so good. We had it so good, you guys.
Obama did it better. Obama did it better. The new talking point from MAGA is, well, Obama dropped bombs too. Yeah, he did. And he did it better. Obama was able to use surgical strikes and limited military operations to take out targets and not start a fucking war. How about that shit? He did it better. In fact, most of the things that the Trumpies like about Trump, Obama did better. We'll go with unemployment. Obama did better. Economy. Obama did better. Deportations. Obama did better. He was able to deport way more people than Donald Trump, and he's able to do it on 1/10 of the freaking budget. Yeah? And without sending fucking goon squads into American cities. Obama did it better. Obama was able to get across a healthcare bill. Trump can't. Obama did it better. Obama was able to get tax cuts for the low and middle class. Trump, for the upper class, for the rich. Obama did it better. So trying to say that Obama did it too on any subject just shows the failure of Trump and the failure of his people to recognize that everything that Trump said Obama did it fucking better. They just don't like that a black man did it better than a white man. And one last point, let's not forget that Obama was able to get Iran to enter into a non-proliferation treaty.
All right, I just watched a fairly long video of Barack Obama and Mom Donnie with those kids. Red nose, been blowing my nose. It made me cry. Unexpectedly. First of all, those videos are circulating. Please watch them. They are delightful and pure. They're so pure. And Barack Obama and Mom Donnie are so good with the kids. And the kids are so adorable. And the best thing about kids is that they don't care about famous people. And they say whatever they want. And it's perfect. And because Barack Obama and Mom Donnie aren't malignant narcissists like our president, they laughed and thought the kids were adorable and hilarious. And I was just thinking, I saw a clip of Trump on Easter talking to kids, which I think he shouldn't be around any children ever, by the way. And And the clip I saw was of him asking them some form of, this is paraphrasing, but do you guys know anyone who voted for Kamala Harris? Because that was a really bad idea, to like 5-year-olds. Because of course that's what he did. And he had the Easter Bunny standing behind him. Anyway, this video made me cry because I have forgotten what it is like to have leadership that behaves like Barack and Mamdani did in this video with children. This was a child care center in the Bronx. It was so precious and so funny and so sweet. And it was how leaders should behave in situations like that. And I missed that. There's like a huge hole. Anyway, if you see the videos, you need to watch them because they will make you feel good. I mean, also sad because we don't have that right now in the president, and his entire cabinet. But anyway, they are heartwarming and wonderful.
See, I remember that not long ago, criticizing Barack Obama was almost like a flex, a cultural flex in certain political spaces, But today, some of the same voices who used to criticize Obama, talk ill about his presidency and look down on what he was doing, are the same people that are saying something unexpected, saying exactly, the opposite of what they were saying that time. They are looking back at him differently now, especially that they are now trying to compare him with what is on the table today, in Donald Trump. And that particular shift in the same people who didn't believe in him starting to look at him differently when they compare says more, about perception of the people had more than about policy, and how we judge people. And let's be honest, Obama wasn't perfect. He had his shortcomings because, yeah, we all do. Everybody does have their shortcomings. But in comparison to what we have today in the United States of America, that's a big, big difference. Let's continue to watch.
I'm liking Obama now. I miss Obama. I miss the adults in the room.
Nick Fuentes. Oh my goodness. Self-proclaimed white supremacist, MAGA supporter Nick Fuentes says he misses Obama. He wants Obama back. So, like, the wonders shall never end. The Trump golden era is so bad that white supremacists and self-described neo-Nazis are asking for the black man. I mean, they're literally saying, you better call Tyrone. They call him Tyrone. They want Tyrone back. Oh my goodness. This is crazy. I did not have that on my bingo card in the Trump V2 version of his administration, but here we are. Here we are. Nick Fuentes is asking for Obama to come back. Bring back the black man. But let's be honest here. This ain't about Nick Fuentes wanting Barack Obama back because he somehow likes Obama now versus when he did before. This is all about Obama being president makes his job easier. You see, it's a lot better being an anarchist, a neo-Nazi, white supremacist, flamethrower, or hyperbolic personality online when you have grown folks and responsible people at the top. Because no matter what you do, no matter what you say, they're always going to do the right thing. They're not going to start wars. They're not going to investigate you for your opinions. They're not going to put tariffs on your businesses and your friends' businesses on the country. They want to send ICE agents to come round up you and your people and then start shooting people in the face. They're not going to do all that because they're responsible adults. So he misses Obama because what Trump being in office, all the crazy stuff he's saying, Trump is doing. Trump is doing it. And he's not even doing it well. So this whole idea of him missing Obama is that he just misses Obama because he can sleep at night being a lunatic. He can sleep at night being destructive. He can sleep at night being a flamethrower and an anarchist online. He only misses Obama because it's good for business. That's it. If you like this content, like, comment, share, subscribe, follow, do all the things. Until next time, POV.
I did not appreciate the Barack Obama presidency enough between the ages of 7 and 15 because, God, I miss Obama. I just miss, having a normal dude in the White House. Even if you disagreed with his politics, you could understand that he was an upstanding person and a good guy. At the same time, he had this impenetrable, unrelenting aura around him. Yeah, he was the commander-in-chief sometimes, but other times he was just Barack. Rewatching a lot of old clips, I miss when presidents were just normal people. Do you want to know what I miss equally as much as the Barack Obama presidency? Michelle Obama in the White House. God, dude, I miss Michelle. The first ladies, as far as I know, are not obligated to actually do anything, but every first lady before Melania was doing shit. But Michelle, she was doing the most. She was catching heat from some of the most far-right politicians out there because she said kids should eat healthier meals. Now we haven't had a baddie in the White House since 2016, and it absolutely shows. What the hell has Melania Trump actually done? For real, though. Every time she's on camera and she speaks, it looks like it's painful for her to do so. Michelle here was out on iCarly and doing promos for the Penguins of Madagascar like a regular person. Meanwhile, Melania can't even say the word pickles. It's weird. Even if they weren't in politics, Barack and Michelle would be such a power couple, man. They both have this no-nonsense swagger and aura about them, but at the same time, they're just so fun. I miss having them around.
Anyone else just hanging out on Obama talk right now? I can't leave. I can't put it down. He moves me to tears more than anyone else I've ever heard speak. I remember agonizing over that presidential decision way back in 2008 because I was still forming my political values at that time. I wasn't sure that I was allowed to be a Democrat because I was raised to be a Republican. Grew up in a conservative small town, and it was just a foregone conclusion that we were going to vote for the Republican. But when I heard him speak, it was different. When I saw how decent he was to everyone, I knew he was cut from a different cloth, and I still believe it today. He is one of the best damn presidents this country has ever seen. We have no idea how good we had it. I mean, we do now, right? We understand how good we had it with him. Feels like a lifetime ago, where I could just sleep peacefully at night, knowing that man was in the Oval Office. And so, I've just been absorbing it all because ultimately I believe that we need the next Obama. We need someone who is fearless, ceaselessly hopeful, eloquent, decent. We need all of those things. We're craving all of those things. We're desperate for all of those things.
I think I finally understand why Donald Trump hates Barack Obama and Michelle Obama so much, and it really has nothing to do with that White House Correspondents' Dinner years ago. It's that America still loves, the world still loves Barack and Michelle Obama. See, last night was an NBA All-Star game, and, well, the Obamas were there, the camera panned to them, and the crowd cheered. Everybody stood up. They got a standing ovation to the point that President Obama stood up and waved at the crowd, which led to more cheering. Meanwhile, Donnie Boy Trump shows up at sporting events and half to 3/4 of the crowd boos, to the point that the same media networks have to put clapping and cheering tracks over it to keep his supporters from attempting to boycott them. So, Donald Trump really hates the Obamas because the world still loves them.
When Obama won in 2008, I was an evangelical Christian. And right after the election, I was having a conversation with a young black girl in the youth group. And she was telling me what a big moment it was for people of color that Obama won. And I was nice to her in this conversation, but I remember walking away and thinking, how could you vote for a Democrat? And the reason that I thought that was because I had been indoctrinated since I was a child, not just evangelical Christian indoctrination, but Christian nationalist indoctrination. For example, my dad used to refer to Democrats as Democrats, and that's how I had grown up. And there wasn't a part of me at that time that could consider someone else's story, right? It was, proud to be an American. I'm a white Christian nationalist. I'm an evangelical Christian. I didn't understand the history of people of color, black and brown people in the United States. I didn't know. I was thoroughly indoctrinated and therefore thoroughly ignorant. And I look back on that particular conversation and I feel very ashamed. I feel very embarrassed that I didn't think critically and I was so uneducated. It took me way too long to find the truth. I'm glad that I eventually got here, but I wish I would have known sooner. I wish I would have educated myself sooner. But now that I'm here, I consider it a great honor to listen to the stories of other people who aren't like me, people who aren't white, people who've had different struggles and different experiences, and I'm glad to be able to hold space for that, to make room for that. I don't understand it because I didn't experience it, but I don't want to live in an echo chamber.
Now, let's not pretend this is just normal political comparison because for sure, this is not. When Barack Obama became president, he disrupted more than just politics. He disrupted expectation, a narrative, propaganda, A black man, calm, composed, articulate, a well-educated and globally respected, leading the United States of America. That alone, that he is all that and he's a black man, that alone unsettled a lot of people. So what happened? He was scrutinized beyond policy. He was judged beyond performance. And in many cases, he even got rejected by many of these people, even before he was given a chance to prove anything. Now, fast forward, under the leadership of Donald Trump, and here's where the comparison is coming in. The conversation isn't about policy disagreement anymore. It's more about pressure, the pressure that everyday Americans are experiencing, economic anxiety, social divisions, constant political tension, poor, diplomatic moves by Donald Trump, left, right, and center, fighting. He's always fighting with someone or something at any given point. We have seen what Americans are experiencing today. And suddenly, people are looking back and saying, wait, that was better than we really thought. It is often said that people begin to miss the sunshine when the storm is underway, not because Obama was perfect, but because he delivered something that is now really missing. Yeah. Control, composure, and competence, really. So this is where it begins to get more uncomfortable. W.E.B. Du Bois talked about the psychological wedge of whiteness. That is, the quiet belief that no matter what, you're still on top of someone just because of your appearance, And now here came the disruption of that narrative, that propaganda narrative. What happens when a black leader doesn't just participate, but he outperforms expectation? And I dare say outperform because most of these people didn't think a black person can ever become a president of the US. And if he would become, they didn't think he would become better than one of their own, really, Then, so the flip then happened. That's not just politics anymore. It is identity being challenged because the narrative then, or the false narrative begins to crack. Maybe leadership isn't about who people thought or were taught it was supposed to come from. That's what people begin to think. And this explains also something about the obsession with Barack Obama that these people have. He is out of office and he's still being blamed. He's still being like a reference point and still living in the center of conversations he technically has nothing to do. And they blame him of corruption. But, you know, if at all they really had a solid case with that, you know, that would be in the courts, you know. And let's be honest, this is not normal. This is what happens when someone becomes a standard or reaches the standard. You know, people were not ready to accept. They didn't think that it can get to this point. And many black people have actually set the bar so high, and it makes these people furious because they wouldn't expect that, you know. Not all of them, but many of them as well, because every comparison now risks proving the same uncomfortable point, what they thought was the truth, being proven otherwise. And that's something they are not you know, going to take lying down. So really, what we are watching isn't just like political regret, but maybe a recalibration of people's perspective. Some people are now adjusting their worldview, I believe, you know, but we still have others fighting it, you know, others still demonizing Obama. As if, you know, they can't just move on, you know. But the shift though is undeniable, that there are those that are seeing it, and now people cannot just deny the obvious, you know, because when reality contradicts belief long enough, then belief eventually has to answer for itself. And maybe that's the real story here. Not that people suddenly love Barack Obama, you know, but they can no longer deny what his presidency or a black man becoming a president of America, what it really exposed. Yeah, so really that's my take on it. I would be interested to know what you think about this. So leave me a comment on what you think in the comment section below. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, share it, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and I'll really, really appreciate. So with that, see you in the next video.